My friends, let me tell you this truth. Sometimes the greatest transformation in your life doesn't come from adding more, but from subtracting what no longer belongs. You may think that to move forward, you need to keep gathering, keep accumulating, keep holding on to everything and everyone. But the secret is this. Your breakthrough often begins when you decide what to delete. There are at least 10 things in your life that are weighing you down, and until you delete them, you will never feel the freedom, the power, and the clarity that is waiting for you. Imagine carrying a heavy suitcase filled not with treasures but with rocks. You're wondering why your back hurts, why your journey feels slow, why you can't move with ease. It is because you refuse to open the bag and throw out the things that serve no purpose. Delete the toxic relationships that poison your joy. Some people are not assigned to your destiny. They are distractions, and as long as you cling to them, you will never discover who you are meant to become. Delete the constant need to please everyone, because you were not created to be a slave to opinions. You were created to live with divine purpose. Delete the excuses that whisper to you every morning, telling you that you can't, that you're not ready, that you don't have enough. Those voices are lies, and until you delete them, you will remain in chains of your own making. Delete the habit of comparing yourself with others. You were never called to run their race, you were called to run yours. The more you compare, the more you weaken your own potential. Delete the fear of failure, for failure is not the end, it is only the seed of wisdom. Delete the past mistakes that you keep replaying like an old film. You cannot drive forward while staring at the rearview mirror. Delete the procrastination that kills your dreams slowly, one delayed step at a time. And delete the negativity that lives inside your own mind. Because no enemy outside you can defeat you, unless the enemy within has already surrendered. Delete the clutter, whether physical or emotional, that clouds your vision. A clear space creates a clear mind, and a clear mind gives birth to inspired action. When you begin to delete these things, you are not losing. You are gaining room for peace. You are gaining space for vision. You are making yourself lighter so you can climb higher. Sometimes God cannot place the new blessing in your hand because your hand is too full of old burdens. You must let go so you can receive. So I ask you today, what is the thing you must delete right now? Don't wait for tomorrow. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Begin today. When you delete, you create. When you release, you rise. When you make space, heaven fills it with the abundance you were destined to carry. My friends, life is too short to hold on to dead weight. Delete the 10 things that no longer serve you, and you will discover the 10,000 things that will lift you into the life you were always meant to live. My friends, hear me carefully. Life is not simply about addition. It is not only about what you gather, what you accumulate, what you keep piling onto your plate. Many of us think that if we want to be successful, we must add more books, add more commitments, add more connections, add more responsibilities. But the truth is this. There comes a time when addition becomes the very thing that holds you back. You don't grow just by adding. You grow by subtracting. You don't step into freedom by carrying everything. You step into freedom by deleting the things that drain you and steal your joy. Picture a tree in the springtime. The gardener comes with pruning shears and begins to cut away branches that seem alive but are not producing fruit. To someone watching, it looks like loss. It looks painful. But what the gardener knows is that the tree will never flourish unless the unfruitful branches are cut away. In the same way, you must become the gardener of your own life. You must have the courage to look at the branches of your habits, your mindset, your distractions, and say, "This one must go, because it is not producing fruit in me." Some of you are exhausted not because you are weak, but because you are carrying too much. You are burdened with commitments that do not align with your purpose. You are consumed by habits that give you temporary relief, but rob you of long-term progress. You are trapped in a mindset of fear, doubt, and limitation, and that mindset is like a ceiling pressing down on your potential. You are distracted by noise, by scrolling endlessly, by chasing approval, by engaging in things that never feed your spirit. My friend, how can you fly if you are carrying weights tied to your wings? How can you run your race if you keep stopping to pick up stones along the way? Deleting is not a sign of weakness, it is a sign of wisdom. It is saying, I know what matters and I know what doesn't. It is understanding that not every call deserves your answer, Not every opportunity deserves your yes. Not every thought deserves your energy. You must protect your mental space the way a soldier guards a fortress, because once the wrong things invade, they drain you until you are too empty to pursue the right things. My friends, listen closely. Life is not only about what you hold on to, it is about what you release. Many people live crowded lives, filled with unnecessary weight, unnecessary noise, unnecessary burdens. Their minds are cluttered, their emotions are tangled, their schedules are overflowing, and yet their hearts are empty. Do you know why? Because they have not learned the sacred art of deleting. When you delete, you do not lose. You create space, and in that space, miracles are born. Have you ever tried to pour fresh water into a cup that is already full? No matter how much clean, refreshing water you pour, it overflows and spills away. Why? Because there is no room for the new until you empty the old. This is the reality of life. Some of you are praying for blessings, for breakthroughs, for opportunities, for peace, but your cup is overflowing with bitterness, regret, toxic relationships, and endless distractions. How can the new flow into you if the old has not been poured out? You must delete to receive. Peace does not come by accident. Peace is created by intentional choices. If your heart is restless, perhaps it is because you have allowed too much clutter inside. Worries, grudges, fears, and doubts. They crowd your spirit until you can no longer hear the quiet voice of hope speaking within you. But when you delete what no longer serves you, suddenly the noise fades and silence becomes strength. Suddenly the chaos clears and peace finds its home in you. Clarity is another gift that comes from deleting. Think about a window covered with dust. No matter how bright the sun shines outside, the light cannot enter fully until the glass is cleaned. In the same way, your vision is blurred when you allow unnecessary things to cover your inner window. But the moment you delete the distractions, the dirt, the dust, the unnecessary, your vision becomes sharp. You begin to see where you are going, who you are meant to be, and what steps you must take. And then, opportunity. Oh, how it waits for those who make space. Life will not deliver its greatest blessings into a cluttered heart. God Himself will not pour destiny into a vessel that is already full of doubt, fear, and compromise. That is why when you delete, you do not diminish, you expand. The space you create becomes an invitation for opportunity to enter. That space is where new relationships, new ideas, new strength, and new possibilities are planted. But here is the challenge. Deleting feels uncomfortable. It feels like letting go of something familiar, even if that thing is harmful. Many people would rather live with the weight they know than embrace the freedom they do not yet see. But I tell you today, you cannot step into tomorrow's blessing while holding on to yesterday's baggage. You must delete what is blocking your peace. You must delete what is stealing your clarity. You must delete what is shutting the door to opportunity. My friends, your future is too important to be suffocated by the past. There is a divine plan waiting for you, a higher calling prepared for you, a greater chapter ahead of you. But that chapter will not open if your pages are still filled with old scribbles that no longer matter. Delete them, tear them out, make room. Because the author of life wants to write something new on the clean pages of your soul. When you delete what no longer serves you, you create the room for peace to guard you, for clarity to guide you, and for opportunity to lift you. Do not fear the empty space. The empty space is holy ground. It is the birthplace of transformation. It is the evidence that you trust something greater is on its way. So go ahead. Delete with courage. Make space with faith, and prepare yourself, because the moment you do, the future that belongs to you will finally have room to arrive.